The coalition is pushing back against modelling done by the CSIRO on how expensive nuclear power plants would be in Australia. In particular, they say it wasn't modelled properly because the life of the plant should have been longer and how often it's being used. Joining the panel now is Nationals MP Keith Pitt, who's a proponent of nuclear energy. I think that's fair enough subtitle to give you.
Tom, very fair.
So on this, if this modelling is redone with the parameters you're suggesting, will you then say, right, fair enough, this is some good and accurate modelling, we'll use this for our policy? It's a pretty significant agency, isn't it?
Well, firstly, no one should be surprised that we're interrogating the data. I mean, you put rubbish in, you get rubbish out. That's pretty standard for modelling. And if you look at what's being discussed, I think that's fair and reasonable. If I look at just a hydro project, for example, which I worked on before I was in this role, I mean, it was 55 years old at the time, doing a 50-year upgrade. So very substantial assets do get maintained, and you really can't compare them to solar panels. They deteriorate. The idea that large-scale solar has a 30-year life, the same as nuclear, in my view, is just wrong.
But if this is remodelled, if they're going to bother going and doing all this work, wouldn't they need to know that you're going to respect the new numbers, if you like?
Well, you don't know what it says, Tom. We
no, but you're changing what's feeding in, so it's no longer rubbish in your words. So what's fed out should be better.
No, what I said was rubbish in gives you rubbish out.
Yeah.
So we are looking closely at the data. It is very technical, and modelling is modelling, right? It's based on assumptions. And what is actually accurate is we know the build cost in South Korea because they've built 4 of these things. So that's an actual cost.
Keith, you're a big proponent of nuclear. Would you have one in your electorate? Someone put it to me that you said you wouldn't because your electorate's too earthquake prone. It sounds a bit like a NIMBY excuse.
Oh, I love this question, Trudy. It's fantastic. We are trying to get electricity prices down. So that means that you would choose locations which are best suited.
But not yours.
Well, I don't have a coal-fired power station. I don't have the large transmission and substation infrastructure that you would need. All of those things add cost. So you need to do a proper engineering assessment. You need to look at the geoscience. You need to determine where the risk base is, and you need to make sure you build it where you have the capacity.
But do you need to determine also if it's popular? Like, is that has to come into your consideration as an MP? Is this something people in my electorate would even cop?
Well, I mean, if we're going to base our engineering decisions on popularity, everyone will love a solar panel in the house because they're popular, but that doesn't make it work. So these are serious decisions. I mean, let's look at a bridge. Would you build a bridge design based on what's popular with the population, or would you base one on what the engineers say is a very good idea and it'll actually not collapse?
Well, arguably a lot of bridges when it comes to federal infrastructure seem to be built on seats that are marginal.
But that is not the design of the bridge or the carrying capacity of the bridge or how the bridge will respond to different situations. That is an engineering decision, and this will be the same with nuclear.